And General, just so that we place it on record, could you look at paragraph 23
Okay.
and 24? There, your language there is much stronger. Do you care to comment on those two paragraphs?
Yeah. I'm reflecting here on General Sibiya's thinking with the disbandment, that actually General Khumalo was not a detective and therefore couldn't be responsible for investigations. So his argument in that meeting, for me, resonated with the letter that he wrote to say that the handover should be complete so that no dockets would be under General Khumalo's leadership, including those court-going dockets. So whatever elements that he was arguing about in that meeting, or arguing on, or arguing for, it was actually all aimed at ensuring that there's a complete handover to the detectives on the dockets.
You then say that General Sibiya's sentiments were also shared by the Minister and the Chief of Staff.
As I said earlier, yes.
And the approach to retain the dockets was supported by the National Commissioner and General Msidi.
Yes.
And you say ultimately what then became of the plan? What was the resolution?
The plan was approved in principle, I think, with those amendments to say that the 114 dockets will remain with the PKTT, but also that now these 114 dockets with those assigned investigators, as and when each case gets concluded, those detectives will then have to go back to their station of origin or business unit of origin, but also the combat members as well who were protecting them will also have to withdraw and go back to their business unit of origin.
That, of course, would not apply to detectives who had more than one docket in court. So if you finalize this one,
and the other one is still, it doesn't
you,
affect you.
Yes. Yeah.
So it means that it meant your workload had to be concluded. So if you had 3 dockets, you had to conclude all of them.
General, when you say that the plan was approved in principle, does that include, if you look at the action plan, if you go back and then you've got the item 2, item 3, approval of the new call-up instruction and financial authority for 2025-26.
Yes.
It included that as well.
It is included,
principle.
and I think that was specifically for those members who would have remained, because their term, I think, was coming to an end. So there had to be a new call-up instruction for them to be able to continue with their responsibilities.
Okay. So in your understanding of how that meeting concludes in principle, adopting the plan, your understanding is that even though, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I may be posing it not correctly, that even though the minister's letter or instruction says immediate disbandment, in principle, the minister accepted that there would be that call-up instruction and a budget allocation for the period. You would accept that?
I would agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
And General, just to put this to you, Generals Masemola and Khumalo testified that there wasn't actual approval. What's your comment to that?
And I listened to both of them, and also I think there was an engagement to understand what does it mean. In the second meeting of the 27th, progress was supposed to be reported of the deliberations of the 6th, which means it was the approval plus the amendments. How far have you gone? And the information note was supposed to be written for approval, and that never happened. So for me, that was not the plan, but the information note. That's my understanding.
Thank you, General. And then,
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand. Are you saying if they testified or we understood their evidence to be that there was no approval of a plan,
Yes.
they are incorrect in that, or we are mistaken? Which one is it?
For me, it's a perspective. Hence, I'm clarifying probably what it could mean for them. Because in principle, that plan, hence Khumalo and I were able to even plan after that because there was a principled approval.
Okay.
But in the police, as I think I said to the evidence leader, for something to be complete for budgeting, you need that information note.
I see. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
and so, General, after this meeting, you then speak of a call that General Khumalo reports to you from General Motsepe. Can you explain what happened there?
Yeah. It was during March and after the meeting of the 6th. And again, Commissioners, please pardon me because I don't remember all the dates and it's not deliberate or at misleading the Commission.
You already attributed it to age, General.
Thank you for acknowledging that, Commissioner. Okay, General Khumalo gave me a disturbing call and said that he received a call from General Motsepe, who asked, who informed him that she was coming to collect the PKTT dockets. So immediately he ended the call and called me and asked, but why would Motsepe call him for the docket? So I said, no, General, don't worry, I will address it. And I called General Motsepe and I said to her, can you please cease communicating with Khumalo on the matter because he and I were seized with the matter. Now, what I didn't do, and I admitted to this commission, I didn't ask her where did she get it from. But I had an assumption because all the component heads, they have the direct access to the DNC. That's no surprise. You go in and you find them sitting. So my thinking was maybe General Sibiya kept on reminding. And I said to the evidence leader, if maybe you need people to actually collaborate or corroborate that, it's fine. They are there. He would ask, how far are you? You are not moving. You are not taking the instruction of the minister. So I felt that maybe he got impatient with me. He got impatient with me because he assumed that maybe I was actually, because Khumalo, we called, he knew that maybe because of the relationship we have, therefore I'm not willing to execute. So my thinking was maybe Motsepe got an instruction from him, and I say, underlining, it's an assumption, it's not fact. But also why I would think like that, and I think evidence leader asked me earlier as to why maybe all the relationship between me and General Sibiya. In February, after the letter was received, after I came back from the bereavement of a family member, the National Commissioner got a complaint of an elderly person who actually owns properties in Johannesburg. And that elderly person was extorted, his buildings were hijacked, and he was assaulted, his house was broken, and he was staying alone, he's got no family. The elderly person complained to the police, and actually at some point even some of the police took advantage of him. So NATCOM got that complaint and he asked me to address it. Normally I wouldn't undertake that task of dealing with complaints directly. I gave it to General Shibiri. But at the time, General Shibiri, I think either him or his wife was not well, I can't remember. But the complainant kept on reminding NATCOM to say, but nobody called me. This elderly guy actually had to flee Gauteng and was in Cape Town. So NATCOM reminded me that there's this matter. So I then said to him, can I go now to go and see the complainant? Which he said yes. General Sibiya has to sign my itinerary because he's my supervisor. And he had a serious problem. And I think I did submit the WhatsApp messages. Even after saying to him, Mpati, I would never, he believed that I was working against him. He believed that my trip to Cape Town was anomalous. I remember I even wrote in Zulu ukuthi mphathi ngeke ngakwenza kabi, you know. And it got to a point where I said, you know what, do what you want. You can deploy me if you want, redeploy me if you want. Because I felt, because he said in the end, I know now. What does that mean? It means good. I know that actually you are working against me. So I said, after this complaint, I'm gone. So in that sense, I thought maybe he felt that maybe he was unsure where I stand. I don't know why, but that's what I want to present to the commission.
Chair.
Let us adjourn and resume at
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.